We're going to fly into Mopane Southeast TVET College, located in the Mopane district in Limpopo, in South Africa, in this beautiful Earth planet we can see in front of us. And the reason why I'm staying with the view of the Earth in space is because of a volcano which exploded around 2,000 million years ago. Now, the Earth is only around 4,000 million years old. So around about halfway through the lifetime of this Earth, there was this massive volcanic eruption, and it's the location of the world's biggest open cast mine and the world's biggest mining hole. It's not Kimberley. And the other thing I just want to mention is that around 2,000 million years ago, there was no life on land. There was life in the seas, and what had happened was they'd started to generate oxygen as a byproduct. And this oxygen collected and eventually poisoned the atmosphere and the Earth and resulted in the world's first great extinction event, the Great Oxidation Event. And we're now currently going through another extinction, except this is the 6th extinction the Earth is going through, and this is due to our activity on the planet. Let's start the process of flying into our location. And the first thing that I want you to look out for as we move in is you'll see that it's located in the far northern area of South Africa, quite near the old Delagoa Bay or Maputo. And that's going to become key because for thousands of years, iron and copper has been mined in this area. Not by the whites in the last 100 years or so. I'm talking about thousands of years ago. Proud mining traditions in this area. Exactly at the place where we're flying into the hole used to be a koppie called Lulakop. And that's where the locals mined over there. So we're moving into the actual great hole, and you can see that it's around about 2 kilometers wide, 450 meters deep, and it's had a great wall collapse, which the engineers actually predicted, and they stopped mining there because it was going too deep. And that caused a massive issue with the Phalaborwa area because there was concern that the whole mine would close down. But with Chinese investment and black economic empowerment investment, it's meant that we now have a situation where renewed mining is going on, but now underground. So it's still got a long period of future growth ahead of it. It's already extracted massive amounts of copper from here. I think it's like around 2.7 million tons. But we want to tell the story of Phalaborwa, and we want to tell the story of the apartheid racist nature of the area as it developed. It was an incredibly conservative place at one stage. You can see the locations. We've just flown over them on the one side. And now we're flying into Phalaborwa, which was the historically white town. You'll notice again, classically, it's green. It's separated off. It's got swimming pools and lots of sports facilities. And this college that we're currently moving into now was established in 2003. It's the business studies campus. So it offers all the qualifications which you do, like finance, economics, accounting, hospitality, management, marketing, office administration, tourism, HR, educare. So that's the zone it works in. It's got very good facilities. It's got great residences. It's got a good reputation as a place which you can go and study. And it's a highly sought after area to go and work in. And we're just going to lift off from here, but we're going to stay in the Phalaborwa town because I want to visit the local Musate Hotel School, which is like a satellite campus. It's really well equipped. It basically offers the occupational qualifications. You can do things like professional cookery there. You can become an assistant chef. You can see it's situated on a nice koppie. It's got a good reputation, but it hasn't got such a high profile. Initially, I kind of struggled to find it. And if you're wondering why the whole TVET college is called Mopane Southeast, well, the Mopane district is named after the Mopane worm, which is a very famous delicacy and source of protein in the area. But it was called Southeast because it was a combination of colleges from the south and the east. Now, Phalaborwa is in the east, and the South College actually got taken away from it when the demarcation happened and allocated to Mpumalanga. So technically we could call it the East Mopane TVET College. I'm pulling out because I want to give you the sense of just how big this mine is, one of the world's biggest mines. So you get a sense of the extent. But at the same time as that, as I pull out, with the green Phalaborwa behind you, I really now want to make sure that we fly over the Namakhale and Lulekane townships so you can get a sense of the enormous damage done by apartheid to this area. The AWB, Afrikaner Weerstandbeweging, very strong over here historically. But this town has been transforming. And over the last 10 years, it's transformed more and more to the point now where there's a sense that it's one of the most transformed post-apartheid cities, as they would say. Now, this Val Duncan campus is a straight-up engineering campus. Val Duncan was the old CEO of Rio Tinto, the mines in this area. He's passed away now. And this is a state-of-the-art mining facility, and it offers lots of programs which you need to use in the mining area. So, for example, you've got, if you want to be a diesel mechanic, if you want to do fitting and turning, if you want to do boiler making, if you want to be a millwright, which is where you're working with fixing and assembling machines, you can do all of that there. So it's a great campus in terms of the engineering side, and those guys do find employment on the mines to some extent. But now I've pulled away from that and I've gone into the Kruger National Park, and we're visiting the Masorini tourist spot where tourists can actually see the old historical mining which went on. And really these guys were doing iron mining, and they've been doing it for thousands of years. There's issues when you work with the skill levels at this point because it was a male skill. Females weren't allowed to do it, and certainly pregnant women weren't allowed in the area. They did it separately because it was supposed to be the way men could transform rock into iron, just the way that women could transform our produce into children. So that gives you a very brief account of the way the Mopane Southeast TVET College works. As I pull out, I'm trying to pull out so you get a sense of the Kruger National Park, which is right nearby. There's a gate in Phalaborwa, so it offers lots of tourist opportunities in terms of employment. But also historically, this was a site which was located near Delagoa Bay, so you had these massive historical trade routes happening over thousands of years in this area. And the locals who stayed here, they didn't grow crops. What they did instead was they traded. They made the iron, and for the iron, they then basically got crops and they got livestock and that kind of stuff. But the other reason why I'm pulling out over here is you can see the Messenger Dam over there, and that's very near the Mozambique border in the beautiful Kruger National Park. And that's also the site to your right of the Gaza Kingdom. And that's the story of Shoshangane, who was a defeated Ndwandwe group in Zululand, who moved all the way up there and formed a kingdom called the Gaza Kingdom. And it's a complicated kingdom to actually work with because of the fact that it became like a secondary parasitical empire. It started to extract not only labor but also slaves from the local area, which were traded through Delagoa Bay. So it's got a complex history, this Gaza empire. We need to understand that not all chiefs are benign guys wandering through looking after their folk. Often they are aggressive, dangerous, and exploitative people who are looking towards extracting resources from the area for their own gain. And that gives us first sight of Mopane Southeast, one of the best TVET colleges in the country, working in this post-apartheid town, which used to be one of the most racist towns, with that huge open pit mine as a result of volcanic explosions, with our people having mined there for thousands of years, and who still work there, only it's now underground and they're working for Chinese companies and big black empowerment groups. And in all of this we have Mopane Southeast charting a way forward for our people in the country.